Live. One. Live. We are live.
No, Oliver was just saying in the chat, asking if we can switch alternative the mumble on. Yes, because
Which one? Sorry, maybe we switch alternative the mumble on so I can have at least audio of the meeting. Well, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't. Sorry, Oliver. I didn't read your message. I'm sorry, but I tried on Firefox and it started, and it still doesn't work. It depends, Flori. It depends of the version, because the last version of it depends. It depends on the version. Latest Firefox is fine now, because the latest version of Firefox fixed it. Gregory told me last meeting that the last version of Firefox fixed the WebRTC problem itself. So actually, the latest version of Firefox should be fine.
And Flori and Oliver don't have any audio, so you can't really say they're present.
They don't listen to us, right?
They can't hear us.
They can't hear us. So
yeah,
let's see what's going on. I'm trying to so just open the chat a bit.
Okay, that's most unfortunate. Like, I think we are on the YouTube already, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we are, but maybe they can hear us on YouTube.
Then we need at least a confirmation from them that they can hear us.
Yeah. Let me open the chat, the YouTube chat, so I can also take a look of the YouTube chat. Hello, everybody.
Okay, I see the YouTube chat as well.
Yeah, so just a confirmation. It's very strange, actually. It's strange, Katla. You're not in the cam, but you can hear us fine, right?
Yeah, I don't have a cam on this computer, but I can hear you very well. Yep.
Yeah, it's strange, very strange, because we upgraded the server and it was much more powerful than the previous one, and the same provider, so it was always that in Nuremberg in Germany, because we thought that it was pretty close to almost everybody except Iceland, but in Europe at least close to France, close to to Czech Republic, to even to Ireland is not, it's far away, but Ireland should have a good connection actually to better than Helsinki at least.
Well, I'm on my husband's work computer at the moment, and he's directly connected. It's not Wi-Fi, so it's a very good internet on his work computer.
That's
I guess that's
yeah.
my
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's my luck.
It's your luck.
Yeah, but there's no camera on it, so.
Let's see if you have some sign of XIII, and let's see this chat. John Square, yes, I can hear you. Yeah, Olivia is just told us that she can hear the audio on YouTube. Yeah, thank you, Olivia.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an ideal solution for Flory and Oliver to listen in on YouTube and not being able to comment unless it's in written comments.
But why I mean,
Okay, Oliver prefers the
Mattermost.
Mattermost chat. Okay, we are there in the Mattermost chat. So whatever you want to tell us, just write there, and we will watch it.
actually, you on YouTube the sound is really bad. I think for you have some trouble. Because Olivia didn't tell us. Actually, I am on 3 chat: Mattermost, Jitsi, and YouTube chat. So
Shh. I don't know, guys. Do we need to take this to another media, or like we need to get this meeting started? We can't sit here all night.
I would say so. I think we are fine. So I would like to start if you don't mind. We are 20 minutes late because of technical issues. So if you don't mind, I will officially start the meeting. And if you don't mind, I would chair it. Is it fine for you?
Yeah. That's fine.
So I see no objections, and it will be great. Should we have a secretary for this meeting? Is there someone willing to volunteer on that?
Not really, but okay.
Yeah.
no, I can help also in the minute with the minute.
Flory reports that she's unable to follow the sound on YouTube. Well, this is not good.
Well, okay. How about just for this meeting, we try this Discord channel that Flory keeps talking about? Can that be put on YouTube or?
Yeah. I don't know actually. The problem is the live streaming that was set up for. I mean, it was supposed to be set up, but I don't want to oblige anyone to. I mean, if it's possible to have the YouTube streaming, it's fine. I have the key. I can share with anybody the live streaming.
Yeah. Okay. So we can like put we can put a video afterwards online instead of having it live streaming, or is that what you're saying?
No, I was saying that I can share the key for the YouTube live streaming with anybody if there is the possibility to just have the live streaming. If there is no possibility to have the live streaming, of course we can move to whatever we want. It just up to us.
Well, I think it is important for our members to have the opportunity to participate in the meeting.
For sure.
So if we are not able to ensure it using YouTube plus Jitsi, we should move to Mumble.
Okay, let's go there then. We just leave the streaming on. I mean the YouTube chat on, so I can just redirect people there.
Can you put the Mumble link in the comments, please? Because I don't have Mumble on my phone anymore, and so I can't put Mumble on my phone because I don't have memory on my phone because it's a piece of crap phone. So I can only participate if I can put Mumble on a browser in the computer.
On a browser?
Yeah, on a browser.
Commenting that actually live streaming on YouTube is working, which is kind of like weird situation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the YouTube streaming is working.
Apparently not in France.
Yeah.
What?
So we can get Flory and we lose you, right?
I mean, is it not possible to just use Mumble on a browser? No, right. I have to have the app. Okay,
I
no,
think
then
so.
I can't. Then I won't be able to participate. But okay, I mean,
No, let's see. But
if that
but
means that, you know, if I'm not participating, but Oliver and Flory could both participate, then fair enough.
Okay, then.
I don't know. I mean, okay, just give me a second. Flory just put a link on the board chat to jitsipirateparty.org link, and that works for her. She hears me and I hear her.
And you see
Okay.
And I can see her, yeah.
Can we use it for streaming?
happy to be there. Just I can't hear you in
Okay.
the chat. I'm sorry. Really sorry.
okay. Yes, for sure. I mean, if they are able to stream that, I can share the streaming code. It's not a problem.
Okay, so let's move there. Yeah, and it from here.
Okay, let's move there.
Here we are. Test 1, 2, test. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Hi.
is on. All right.
I can see
has
Alessandro,
Yeah, you can see me, but it's not in the right place. Now
but
you,
it's not right screen.
yeah, now it should be better.
Oh, I see. That's not the right. Ah, that's the one. That's the one. That's great.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I believe we can start finally. So I think we can officially start the meeting. It's 20:35, and it's really awful that we had such a delay. We have approved the minutes from the 11th meeting, which happened on the 3rd of May. So who is in favor, please vote on the line 29 and following. I'm in favor, so you can type me in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see the minutes to be approved, and now there is time to discuss the agenda. We should discuss today. I put there some proposals, but I'm mostly sure that there you could have or should have some more recommendations, because I just put together what was supposed to be part of the story. Yeah, LGBTQ plus. Yeah, that's one thing we should not forget. So there is a proposal for the agenda online 34. So if you want to add anything more there, please do now or tell us. I'll just look to the I can hear. Yeah, Olivia confirms she can hear. Okay. It seems to me there are no more 2020 invoices. Yeah, that's something we should also discuss. Yeah. Okay, so I'm fine with that proposal, if you don't mind, and maybe we can start. Yeah. There are five in favor, so I consider the agenda to be approved, and we can go straightly to the first traditional item, which are reports from the teams. So yeah, media. Neither Octavia nor Market are here, so I think I will have to report. So the media situation is that we have had some few posts since the last meeting, but since that time, not many things really happened. We enjoyed a new media chat. There are more people gathering there, and yeah, that's mostly it. Regarding the technical stuff, I think everyone was so happy about the council that we have not done too many things on the tech stuff. But I think there was not really much to do. There is an item in our backlog, which is the idea of cloud storage. However, to be honest, I have not prepared anything regarding that. So, I suggest we will discuss that next time. Yeah, and regarding the administration, I think there are quite few things we should do as a follow-up of the council meeting, which are mostly on the agenda. And I think nothing really happened. We have had the minutes in the minutes of the council meeting. We have had them in Mattermost, but I think no one updated the wiki, neither with the wiki nor the web page itself. So that's something that has to be done. So far, from me, everything to the reports. Is there anything more? Yeah, and by the way, welcome, Unza. We have a new board member here. And please do speak.
Welcome, Jan. Or should I say Hansa? Like, I'm confused. I don't like it. To be confused, that is.
Well, in fact, he's Ponza. There's an H, very clear.
So just
Well,
say
I'm pretty sure Exile's name is not Exile, so
Yeah, exactly. Excel. That wasn't, it was unnecessary. Sorry, guys. I've just had like a crazy weekend. I'm very tired. I really want to get to the agenda. And Hansa, welcome. But would you prefer me calling you Jan?
Okay.
just call me whatever you want.
William. Yep.
Okay. Hello, William.
Okay.
Is there maybe anything more to report, or can we go to the agenda points we have noticed?
Yeah, I think, the sole focus has been the council meeting for such a long time. There isn't a lot of stuff that has happened, I think. And I think at some point we need to go through roles again and who has which job, sort of. But not right now. Let's rather finish this agenda right now.
Yeah, I think we have lost a lot of time, and we need to find a way. We need to catch on it. So yeah, I went through the agenda of the council, and one of the things that were approved was the motion for a Europe that fights for the rights of LGBTQ plus people, if I'm spelling that correctly. The thing is, as I understand it, the council decided to provide a recommendation to member parties, and within the respective motion, there is no clear requirement for the board. Still, I think we should ensure that the motion is at least somehow delivered to the recipients. So I think we should kind of like publish it, which no one really did. And yeah, I'm sorry for that. For my part, I just did different things. So what I think if we should do, with your permission, we should publish the existing motion on our, let's say, social media and blog to give it some more attention. Or what do you think about it?
I think, it was worked through on the council meeting, wasn't it? And it's a really good motion, so we should just publish it, yes?
Yep. I don't know whether there should be sort of like follow up, whether we are supposed to kind of like check if someone implemented that or not. I don't know whether it's our task or what are we supposed to do, but I would first just publish it when it happens.
yeah, I agree. Included website, right?
Yeah, including the website. So okay. So if you don't mind, I will somehow prepare it so it is published. Unless anyone has some more recommendation, what shall be done with that motion?
No, you broke up a little bit there, so I wasn't sure. When are you going to publish it?
The website, Facebook, Twitter.
No, but when?
As soon as I'm able to do formatting and stuff like that.
Are we talking like a week or?
Hopefully not like maybe days.
Okay.
But like, I think there's no need there is no big deal whether it will be published on Monday or Thursday.
No, I just wanted a
There is
little
no
bit of
hurry.
time frame, not just some time, just some time frame.
I will hope that during the next board meeting we will already have this as done thing, and we could do some other stuff. So that's one part of the plan. Or like, do you have any kind of like idea how to deal with the motion part of publishing that?
Are you asking me, Nicholas?
Generally, everyone.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I think it would be cool to try to get a bit of media attention around it. So if a member of the European Parliament would maybe write an article or something, try to get that published on some popular parliamentary website, I don't know, something like that, to get more circulation.
I guess it's a bit tricky. What I can imagine is that we would kind of like send the information to the respective blogs or media which are being followed by the community itself. But
What community do you mean?
LGBTQ
Okay.
plus, like, but I have no list of contacts in my hands, so it is a bit tricky because someone would have to kind of like have the list of recipients, or do we know about anything like that, or is there?
Do you not have a PR person working for the European Parliamentary Party?
There is one, but I think there is no like specific list for that purpose. If you understand my purpose.
No, I don't understand. I think your PR person should know that.
Yeah,
that's the PR's person's job.
Kinda, yes, and I think I can ask him. The other part of the story is that we could use help on that, because I think we have never really targeted the community previously.
Targeted the queer community.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think it's very necessary that you specifically target the queer community. A PR person should know how to get more circulation on a motion like this. For example, writing small articles on behalf of the MEPs, or call up their friends in the media, because that's what PR people are supposed to be doing, to get good PR for you guys.
Yeah,
and
that's
good PR, and
that's absolutely what has to be done. But just judging from the experience, media are usually a little bit hesitating to just publish what internal party body has decided, which is the case.
Okay. I wouldn't know. I am I think my personal opinion here is that the board will publish the motion that was approved on the council meeting, and if the European the members of the European Parliament want to get any good attention about it, then it is on the staff of the European Parliament to do that. It's not on the board. It's on the staff that are hired as PR people.
Okay, good. So we will try to do it that way.
And I mean, maybe you don't all agree with me, but that's how I see sort of like the chain of commands, I guess.
Well, yeah, I think that is very much estimation how it should work. I'm just like my experience with, let's say, how our messages are performing to the media makes me a bit skeptical on that. But yeah, let's try it.
Well, I think, sorry, may I interrupt? I think that we're getting too much on this point. There was a massive agreement in the council meeting to this motion, so it's fine that we are publishing this. And from then on, it's not only about PR manager in European Parliament. It's on every pirate himself to publish it, and that's it. I think we've done our job, and let's move on.
Yep. Okay. Good.
Oh, I will move on, but seriously, Oliver, though, I've worked in politics and been a politician and, worked in campaigns, and I know how this works. We can all share this, and we will all share this, I'm sure of it, on all of our social media. But that is still not the same as a professional PR person doing their job. So I would say, yes, I will personally share this motion because I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of the European Pirates for this motion. But that's not going to get the attention of, public media. So if a PR person can also try to do something, that would be great.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that the rule of thumb is that things that are approved by the parliament can perform to the media, but unless you are able to push some motion on the plenary, they do not really consider the result to be so relevant for them to really publish it. Or maybe it's because we are small party, but this is usually how it works.
Okay, of course, I don't know how the staff of you guys works or what their responsibilities are, but I would have thought that, they were working for you guys, and I guess work very differently between countries.
No. I think that works pretty same. What I'm just saying is that there is a certain, let's say, limit, practically in terms of how successful it can be. Or at least we have not really managed to be able to publish such a stuff in media on regular basis. If you understand my point.
I do. I just don't agree.
Fine.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Anything else you guys want in the minutes about this topic?
Good.
Okay.
I think we can go further. Maybe the document update, which is, we have not updated neither the Wikipedia nor the web page, and that's something that has to be done. Is there anyone actively planning to do so?
Mikuláš, I think the answer is no. Maybe we can just, on a voluntary basis, if it's our duty to do this, we can just collect volunteers, and then because, for instance, if I know that I have to publish each news to the website, I think, okay, it's up to me, I will do it. If I don't, I won't. Or same as Wikipedia or as Twitter or as whatever. Don't ask me Facebook because I don't actually have any Facebook account, and I'm almost 50, and I don't want to start now.
No, I'm not asking you to do so. I think what should happen is that the minutes from the meetings are from on the Wikipedia, and then stuff like deleting part party of Croatia and Romania from our documents everywhere they are.
Yeah, I know.
And
Mikolas,
adding Slovakia and so on.
I know perfectly what you mean. What I was suggesting is just to have, one or maybe two guys on each topic, so we can just say, okay, for instance, if I know that is my duty to just put the minute in the wiki, each time we have a council meeting, I will do it. It's just a simple task, very, I can fulfill it, be sure. Or just copy this to the website. I can do it. Everything I would prefer not to be responsible for everything. Just one little thing at once.
Yeah, that'd be great if there would be someone else willing to do so.
I'm raising my hand here. So I want to ask, is it the document updates, is it solely regarding the council meeting decisions? Or is there anything else that needs to be updated?
Solely regarding the council meetings decisions.
Okay, have you asked anyone to do that?
No, I'm just doing.
Okay, right. I can't do that. I don't have the accesses, and I'm not the tech savvy person that has patience for such things. I would probably throw something out a window if it wasn't working.
I'm a bit nervous about throwing stuff from window when it goes about our documentation.
Yes, I recommend that you ask people to do one or two or three things, little tasks, like Alessandro was saying, but you have to give them the task or ask them to take the task.
Yeah, the tasks are actually two. First task is we need the minutes from the meeting because I don't know where they are lost, and that's something that has to be probably done by Alessandro. Second part is go through the wiki and find whatever is inconsistent with the minutes and shall be updated. Same story with web page.
Okay, I will do the wiki stuff.
Yep, that's great. Thank you. Then I will probably have to go through the web page because I don't know who has actually rights for that. Because there are pretty many people over there having the access. It's no problem to provide someone access. Just there need for someone willing to do so.
But Mikolas, don't you think that maybe because of the if we are talking about council meeting stuff, I can just provide first updating the wiki page, and then accordingly I can update also the website because it's the same, almost the same information that has to be done in two places, and I have both access to wiki and website.
You should have the access to both of them, so please do that.
So I will take care about reporting everything from the council meeting, from the last council meeting, into the wiki page and the website.
Yep, that would be great. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so I think this is how the documents shall be updated. Then we have this point, which is information flow from Code of Conduct Council, which should result at least to email updates. I was contacted by them, and I think we need just a formal decision by the board that the board approves that each of the Code of Conduct Council members has an email or receives an email in the form first name dot surname at europeanparty.eu. It's very much the same story as we have our emails for board members.
Did they ask for one email each? Like, or did they ask just for one email for the council?
Well, the request was not that specific. The request was actually Gunnar asked me to have he requested email address for the council, and I offered him this thing, and he was satisfied. So I think it is reasonable to have something like Code of Conduct at europeanparty.eu set up as. I would maybe create it as sort of like dispatcher. As we have board at European Party EU, I think they should have Code of Conduct at European Party EU.
I just wanna is it you that's going to be making the emails?
I guess so, because I have the access, and I don't know if anyone else has.
Okay. I just think whoever makes the emails should contact them and see if they want 3 separate emails or just one that they can all access. Because I, for example, was given an email, I think, and I have never gone into it because I didn't ask for a new email because I don't want a new email. And so I think you guys just maybe ask them, like, do you want 3 separate ones or is one enough?
I think in your case, you shouldn't be provided with an real email.
Okay.
There is just email forwarding. So whatever is sent to katla.holm.torhills. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. At europeanparty.eu, it's forwarded to your email you provided me in.
Okay.
In Milan.
That's
so
great.
It's not being recorded anywhere. It's not being it's not being stored. It's just the way how anyone who knows your name can send you an email.
Okay.
And I think we should use the same approach for the council members. So just like they will not receive any mailboxes. Just like.
Will you be setting them up?
Yeah, I will do so. I could use their emails if you have them, because I haven't them. But
don't have them. I have them on Facebook, all 3 of them.
Okay.
But
can I say something on this topic?
Can I just because I had a conversation with the Code of Conduct Council this week, so I just at some point would like to be able to flow that information to you guys. Alessandro, if you want to.
Yeah, I have only just a little proposal for this kind of, the treatment of all these things. I think that there are basically 2 important things to say. The first thing is one, personal email. I mean, we have just an email server. That means that we can have both aliases and real email. That means that if we have real email, we are just providing a tool for managing emails, right? And because people come and go. Providing a real email, that means that we have to when people come, it's very easy. You just create a new email address and the people that comes just use it. When the people goes, it's not so easy because you cannot drop it, So, but the aliases, it's very fine, because aliases you don't forget anything, you don't destroy anything. Email are directly from the sender. So for people, personal emails, in my opinion, should be always aliases, not real email. But for let me say something like chairperson, vice chairperson, treasurer, code of council. I mean, just specific, not people, but specific roles. It should be real email because it's not related to a person, but it's related to the role itself. No matter if there is one person responsible for the role or multiple, we don't have to lose all the emails that come from anybody to a chairperson or for anybody to a treasurer, because that don't belongs to Mikuláš, right, itself. They belong to the chairperson itself, and the treasurer. I would like imagine if next year I won't be treasurer anymore. I don't bring all the emails with me. It's treasurers. I just simply give the access to the next treasurer, and so you can see everything that is moved on from the past. Otherwise, we have no memories. We lose everything each time someone is leaving. So that's my proposal. Personal emails always aliases. And all the other. I mean, just I don't know how to say, but
Offices.
Yeah, offices email always real email shared by all the people. So in my opinion, it should be great to have only one mail for code of council, because everyone just send an email to the code of contact council, and not to Unnar or to Marco Confalonieri or whatever, or but they send the email to the office, and everybody can just see it. That's my opinion.
Yep. There is a question from Katla in the chat. If there is anyone else that has the access to make the emails, as far as I know, this ISP config we use can be accessed by Bastian, but a part of it I don't know about anyone.
Okay, thanks for answering that question. I asked because I am worried that there are so many tasks that are landing in your hands alone because other people don't have the access to do them. And I would hate to think that you are getting too much to do that you can't overcome all your tasks, being, full-time employed and all that.
Well, I would gladly leave this email management to someone else. So if there is anyone who is willing to do the email management, I would be happy. Because regarding what Alessandro said previously, we have had this discussion about mailboxes some half a year ago. We generally agreed on this approach, but the problem was that we were supposed to delete some mailboxes, which means we were supposed to ask the people to store their data, if I'm correct, because you cannot just delete that without notifying them. And I don't know what happened regarding this notification. But if there is anyone who is willing to do the email management, I will gladly share this burden with him or her. Is there anyone?
I wish I could say yes, but I don't know this shit, and my brain kind of can't handle more conversations about fucking email boxes and shit. But I can ask Gamitra.
That would be great. If she is willing to do so, I will gladly tell her how to do that. I will provide her access to that system, because it has to be done email by email by hand, and that's really
yeah, okay. I will contact Gamitra this week and see if this is something that she can take on her plate. because your plate is kind of overcrowded. Okay.
Yep.
I am better at admin work than tech work. That's just how I am. Sorry.
Yep.
Anyways, should I now tell you about the little conversation I had?
Yeah, please do.
It was pretty much, well, because Marco and Linda have not been familiar with such a council before, and Unnar knows how it works, sort of in Iceland, but he has never been in it, I think. So they kind of just wanted to have a chat about how, what's their mandate and what's the sort of situations that they will look into and how they should start and all this. So we just talked about the email, and that they're going to set up a wiki page. And on that wiki page, they're going to put introductions of all of them. They're going to put the email. They're going to put up all the information about the manifest of code of conduct, and all that was in the proposal from the council meeting in Milan. They're going to put up they talked about creating a procedure for themselves to work by when they get cases on their desk, and they're going to have all of that very transparent and put that on the wiki page. The only thing that won't be transparent is the
Chico.
issues that
Ciao, amore mio.
they get it, because
Sono-
that obviously has to
Sono in
be
riunione con I pirati. Come va, amore
private
mio?
for privacy sakes. Yes. I'm sorry if my kid is too loud and you can hear him more than me, but that's just my life, Anyways, they talked about as well, because Linda is very familiar with Robert's Rule of Order, and there's a thing there that's called a peacemaker, I think. And that's a person that's on a meeting and has that single role of just kind of keeping the peace. And she talked about maybe the Code of Conduct Council could be such a person on meetings if needed. And on council meetings like we had now in May, it would have been nice to have a person that had that one goal to keep the peace. So that's something that they're going to look into. From my talk with the three of them, they have this. They got this. These are three excellent individuals that were selected into the council. They're very excited about starting, and they said, they just want to be in touch with us if there was anything that they needed. But I think Marco has access to make a wiki page. So I think that's all good, and we don't need to help them at all with all of that. I think it's just the email that they need to, and then Marco can set everything else up, I'm pretty sure. They were very positive and happy, and I just want to share that with you because I think it's just, great. Those three people, they're great. It's all very positive. Yes? Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool, and I'm really happy that actually we don't have to care, and they started to be active. I really liked it. So we will provide them the emails. I will contact them and provided that Gamitra will not overtake this task faster. And if I understand, that's it. And should anyone speak with them, I think we should offer them as much support as possible.
Mi sono mutato un attimo, ti devo... Vedi, guarda, ti faccio vedere.
Yes, agreed. They're very... Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And I guess generally, we should be open for them. Should they be willing to participate in board meetings to anyone, any other members member here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yay. Okay, so I think that's what we have had to discuss regarding the Council of Code of Conduct Council. Sorry, and there is this ECI knowledge sharing which we have approved in the last council meeting in the one in Milan, and we have not yet published it. And I think we have been in the stage that it's time to publish it just before the online council meeting. So we really should move this thing forward. Is it that way? Am I correct?
I think so, Mikuláš. I think so. The problem is that this week we have, last week we have a meeting with, some member of the organization, and we're still discussing which is the best solution to start the platform, because we have actually two solutions. The first is to use the European Community Platform to collect signatures all over Europe, but because we had probably the chance to have a common campaign with another ECI, there is the UBI ECI from another, all the network of the UBI network all over Europe, and it would be grateful to have to campaign together, because both of us can enforce the other motions, the other ECI. So if you sign for one, you will be prompted to sign for the other, and vice versa. That's our main goal. And I'm in contact with the technical, with the tech guys who are currently work on their platform, because probably they will not use the European platform to do this. So we're just finalizing at least the website and the platform for achieving the goal to have the same campaign, to campaign together. That was our goal, because actually it's by chance we have the chance really to have one of those two pirate scores, file sharing and universal basic income together, not proposed all by parts, but it would be very interesting to have some roots in common to just increase our network. But yes, of course we should even if my plate is a bit full, because I have the wiki stuff and also another stuff, I think I'm the best candidate to provide, to update all our channels with the ECI. I don't know what you think.
Well, yes, very much. I think what will be maybe, or my understanding what should happen at that point will be that we will kind of change the theme of our web page in the way that there will be a big panel advertising that ECI. So
that would be great. That would be great, actually.
The tool for organizing the page is not really the top best ideal, but there are such opportunities, so you can do it. So what is probably needed is sort of graphics that will represent that initiative, or is there a design manual or something like that could be used for purpose, or I think I'm not really sure now about our program, because I think even the basic income is something we could have advertised on our page, but I'm not sure. Does anyone know?
You mean the Common European Election Program?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we have it.
Because should there be a basic income in our common program, and this other ECI would be in line with that common program, I think it is fine to have sort of like advertising of both of the initiatives. But this has to be checked, and I'm unable to do so
I
without knowing.
will check, Mikuláš. I will check.
Yeah. Okay, then yeah, I can help you with the web page, or we could ask Bastian to do so, or someone else who is having the rights to change the skin so that it is really advertised there.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so please do discuss with the people what will be their web pages, where do they like share, do this promotion, plus if they have some specific graphic design for that purpose, we would appreciate it.
Okay, got it.
Good. Is there anything more we should have know about this ECI? Because otherwise I would go to the next point on the agenda, which is the ongoing protests in Europe. As you have probably noticed, there are ongoing protests against the police brutality. It's kind of like reinforcing the message we have or pirates have spread regarding the police violence in the US. And I think we should not stay silent at that particular thing. So at least some small like remarks on our social media is something that should happen. I don't know what you think about it.
Are you talking about like a statement from the board?
Maybe. Like I've published today in the media chat pad with some proposal what could be published on Facebook and Twitter. I don't know whether you have noticed. I will send it again to the board's chat. So it's here. What I will publish there, but it's not really like a political statement of the type saying like we are organizing that protest. It's just like
I'm not really understanding what are the options of us as a board? Like make a statement as a board in support of Black Lives Matter, or what else?
That would be one of the options, which I was not heading to. I was just thinking about like having Facebook comment over there. Usually we don't approve them by the board, but I think this time the Facebook statement is better to have approved or at least supervised by board members.
A Facebook statement by the MEPs?
No, by the board or by the PPEU. Or like the Facebook actually belongs to the PPEU, so I think.
So if you put a statement on the Facebook page of the PPEU, it's a statement on the board, isn't it?
I would say so.
Yeah.
You can call it like that.
Well, I'm all for it.
Please do check the text. That's the important part, because
Can you link?
It's in the board chat and put
Yeah,
here also.
see it.
This is what I would publish there. Without. I know that there could be kind of like comments on that. I have heard comments on that, like don't use don't use some specific terms because it has some connotations and stuff like that. So I think it is a really good idea that everyone like just check it and say how is that or not.
Sorry, guys. Maybe I missed something. Are we voting on something?
Not yet. And I'm not really sure whether we are going to vote. I'm just trying to summarize our options. I see someone just striking text over there, so...
Yeah, and what are the other options? If we have other options than just put a statement on Facebook, what are the other options?
There is definitely an option to stay silent, by definition. There is an option to create a really like blog post in form of, let's say, like statement of the board that will go to the web and will be linked from there to Facebook and to Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And we can even kind of like use that particular text and send it to some media for the case they would be interested in. That's also an option.
I think making a text just to put on Facebook is good. I mean, it's and put it on Facebook and Twitter, I guess. But if we would make like a longer article, I guess, to put on the webpage or the website of the PPEU, that would need a wider approval, wouldn't it?
Well, depends on how do we approach it, because I think we have no binding strategy for doing this stuff yet. So it is more or less on what we now decide how to do that.
I could I have a master's degree in democracy and ethics, and wrote a lot about how democracy is not for everybody because of oppression. So I could definitely write an article this week that talks about democracy and the threat to democracy with the oppression of people of color around the world. And I could send it to the board for approval, and that could be put on like the website, as well as Facebook, like a Facebook status today, and then an article just from the European Pirates talking about democracy, which is our topic. So I could do that. If you want, like if the board would be interested in an article like that, nothing too long, maybe 500-700 words or something. Maybe longer. I think
it would be great. Just to think, I think it would be great. Would we be able to publish something on social media as soon as possible, because the protests are ongoing and it's happening all across Europe. So it's really here, and we should not just like wait 2 weeks.
No. I think it would be very good to put something on Facebook as soon as possible, like tonight or in the morning. But if you guys think it's a good idea to have such an article that focuses on democracy and the importance of democracy in these times of fascism rising up, or something like this, about the oppression of minority groups, I can do that. But I'm not going to do it if you guys think it's, a waste of time.
I think it would be great because, we have on the web page already some comments from Matthias Ponti, the Dutch pirate. There are comments from other people. So I think, as a board member of the PPEU, you should definitely have this option, and it's reasonable to publish there.
Okay.
Hansa is willing to speak.
Oh, I turned off my microphone accidentally, but I just wanted to say that how do we get, like, let's say, a European spin into that? Because it's mostly American topic. Like, there are demonstrations in Europe, but it's usually doesn't seem very concrete. Like, how does that relate to Europe specifically? And especially now in the whole Corona crisis, there have been a lot of problems with the same topic. Let's say racism, discrimination in Europe. Let's say, like, I think XIII is German, or which one of you is German?
Nobody.
No, I'm German. That's right.
No, because there's this huge upgoing scandal in Germany with the foreign or not really foreign, with the European workers from Romania and Bulgaria being mistreated especially the agricultural sector, and I'm not sure how well you could connect that to Black Lives Matter, but but for instance, this thing is a rather European problem, while Black Lives Matter is still mostly let's say, most of the protests are reacting to what happened in America. And sometimes they will mention that there are similar problems in Europe, but it's usually rather vague. So maybe some sort of a general statement to racism and exploitation in times of crisis.
Well, I think it is very much country specific because over weekend there were a lot of demonstrations or protests, especially in Germany. Like I think there were tens of thousands of people participating, which is quite important topic. I have noticed that there were protests also in France, and correct me, Flori, if I'm wrong, but they were also reflecting some similar case from 2016, which happened in France. So generally, I think it is European topic, of course, but of course, for the Eastern countries, it's maybe not that much relevant. That's true.
I had my hand up. It's gone down
Yeah.
now.
Also, Oliver would like to speak, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chair, you have to say.
You asked for the word first.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. It's somehow.
Well, just to reply to Hansa, yes, Black Lives Matter is an American movement, but racism is very real and very big and very violent and dangerous in Europe as much as it is in America. It's just in a different way, and it's seen in different ways. And racism has major impact on the democracy of minority groups and people of color in Europe. So it is a very much European issue, even though it has boiled over in America now, and it has not boiled over in Europe yet. It's a very European issue. Racism, yeah, and people are losing their lives, and there's less participation in elections with people of color throughout Europe. And I'm sorry, I think it's very relevant in Europe. But like I said before, I really would support putting out a statement on Facebook in the morning, and I can still write that article, and you guys can then have a look at it and decide what to do with it. Thanks.
Okay, so who was the next one in the speaking list?
Well, in fact, I was just answering to if I'm German or not. And yes, I am German, although I'm living in Spain. And regarding the issue we're discussing about, of course, it's a European problem. Speaking about Spain, American stopped by the police will have another treatment than a Spanish or a German guy. So I'm quite happy to look forward to Katla's lines regarding this issue and regarding publishing something on Facebook only with the hashtag Black Lives Matters. I will abstain.
Okay, so the Black Lives Matter hashtag is problematic, or what was this the message?
Yeah, I think so. Of course, I'm not quite convinced to stay quiet, as it is an issue, but we should focus this issue more on Europe, and I would prefer to wait these 3, 4, 5 days to have an article on our own.
Okay. I would just like to comment from the Eastern European perspective. Maybe there is not that much racism because there was not so many people migrating from Africa in the past towards that people. However, there is still a lot of racism against Roma people, which is maybe sometimes forgotten, but it's really painful and problematic, and we should speak about it and we should fight it.
Absolutely, Nicholas, I agree with you.
Okay, so
I'm not really, I don't understand why the hashtag Black Lives Matter is problematic. I didn't really catch the problem there. Can you explain better, Oliver?
Well, it's a little bit what Jan also said. This minority lives matters would be fine for me.
If I can say a word,
yeah, of course.
I don't agree with Onza that in this time of crisis we should just, because we don't have many black people in Europe, that this is not our problem, because I mean, maybe it's just that Black Lives Matter, it's more specific US problem because they have a lot, but the problem is that all lives matter. That means that we in Europe, the old-fashioned Europe, we have history, centuries of racism. Racism is not maybe between black and white, but maybe white and white, or white and yellow, or white and green. You know, we have it. We still have it in Italy. We have it in France. I'm pretty sure we have it in Eastern Europe. We have it in Russia. We have it in all the north part of Europe. Racism is a problem, a worldwide problem, and that's why we should say that we we cannot stay silent, even if something is not happening in Europe. So we have the double reason to just say that also for us, not only Black lives matters, but all lives matter.
Okay, I see in the Jitsi chat a statement from Katla. I will not approve to any statement that changes the hashtag in use. It is the purest form of whataboutism and gaslighting to this activism. Okay, which makes a bit complicated.
Honza has his hand up.
Honza, sorry, please speak.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, first of all, this was a slightly... is it pronounced Alejandro or Alessandro?
Alessandro with a double S. Thank you, Onza.
Okay, that Alessandro somehow slightly misrepresented my suggestions. I didn't say it's not. We should ignore the problem, or that it's not a European problem, but that Black Lives Matter is very specifically, even if some people use it for other things, is very specifically a movement against police brutality against African Americans, and the problems of racism in Europe are there can be police violence against minorities. That's very specifically in case of Roma, as Mikuláš mentioned. There even has been a very similar case in Czech Republic where the police basically killed one Roma, and after the fact they said, well, he was high on crystal meth, so it wasn't us hitting his head on the floor, but it was the crystal meth. And they tried to use the Black Lives Matter hashtag in this instance. It didn't work that much because it's just a very specific American concept. But the thing is, since at least one of you is living in Spain, you might want to check up on agricultural plantations in southern Spain, because there are a lot of black people, mostly migrants, a lot of them with no legal status in Spain, that are harvesting the very cheap produce that you might buy in European supermarkets like Lidl and Kaufland. And that's pretty much one of the worst examples of racism, or just racist system in Europe. And not many people talk about it. And this is one thing that you could mention, just one sentence, that it's not just limited to police violence in Europe, but that it's in Europe it's very much about economical exploitation of the racial minorities as well.
Yeah. Anyone else raising the hand? I don't see that.
Yeah.
I will just shortly update you. Yeah, of course.
Regarding the statement of Katla, sorry, I didn't oppose to put something, but as John said, I also think that this is addressed more to the US, and we should widen this thing. That's all I would add to this point.
Yeah. If I may just update you, it is also maybe important to consider who will be the recipient of the message, because currently our Facebook works that way, that out of that 6,000 people who are following, roughly 1,200 are from Czech Republic. The second biggest represented country is Italy with like 660. Then Germany, 530, France, Belgium, Sweden, Netherlands, and so on. Iceland is, for example, almost not non-represented. So just for you to know, our Facebook is mostly targeting the Western Europe. Czechia is actually the only Eastern country, but it's strongly represented there. About the Twitter, I have not the information because they don't provide it, and I have no tool to access it. But you should know that we are, when we are talking about it, we are not talking about, to the people who are on daily basis seeing the East European racism against Roma, but we are more seeing or speaking to the people who are in let's say, daily contact with racism towards people who have the origin in former European colonies or Western European colonies, if you know what I'm talking about.
Was this directed at me, Mikuláš?
No, it was general point of information for you to have insight into our communication, because I think it is important to understand the cultural background we are talking to.
Yeah, I might remind you, I have lived in Ireland for 3 years. The biggest minority group in Ireland are Irish travelers, other known as gypsies, I am very aware of culturally marginalized groups with all over Europe, and I can tell you that in America, if we're going to compare the issues here, if we want to put this in a pirate perspective, let's talk about democracy. And in America, if you are convicted for a crime in most states, you lose your right to vote. And this is a blatant violation of human rights, I would say, but that's the law over there. And it's in major, more people that are black are put in prison, and whether they are committing the crimes or not, but they're also committing the crimes because of their cultural background and their poverty in America, which is systematically kept going. So democratically wise, in America, black people and other minority groups have less democracy than white people. And now if we were going to talk about that in Europe as well, the numbers say the same. People of foreign, people of, immigrants in Europe, as well as people of minority groups, Roma people that don't have addresses, Irish travelers that don't have addresses, immigrants that haven't stayed for very long or don't know the registration system and the election system, women of color that maybe won't be allowed to vote. All these people, they have less democracy than white people in Europe. So this is a very current European issue. Even if police brutality in America is getting worse and worse by the day over there, and it's being sanctioned by their fucked up, crazy president, police violence in Europe is also really bad. People do die at the hand of police because they are judged harsh by the color of their skin or by their cultural background or whatnot. So anyways, I love this topic. I can talk about the democracy of minorities for hours. I think it's very current in Europe at the moment. The hashtag Black Lives Matter is very current as well in Europe at the moment. And I think if we're going to put out a statement that has anything else than Black Lives Matter as a hashtag, we're going to have to put that to a vote. And I would not support such a statement. And I think it's very bad idea for the European pirates to go into that whole pit of talking about all lives matters. Right now, it would be very bad. So.
Okay, that's really hard because then we come to the point when we have no consensus and we will have to solve the issue. So maybe the first part. Let's look on the pad which is over there. Can you access it? Is there anyone who cannot access the pad? Okay, no one is complaining, so I hope everyone is able to reach the pad. When we are talking about the rest, except of the Black Lives Matter, is it possible for us to accept such a statement, or do we want to change it somehow significantly? Is there any?
I think the statement couldn't go out like it is. It needs to be worked on. Definitely, it's not. Yeah.
Okay. That was what I was willing to hear. Okay, then we need a working group that will work on the statement and will provide something as soon as possible for the Facebook and Twitter. Am I right on that? Do we understand each other? Or?
I absolutely would volunteer to write the statement with somebody else, or like I wouldn't want to be unchecked.
I would be fine. Would you kind of like coordinate the effort? So we have the Facebook and Twitter and article as for our media. Would it be fine for you?
Well, I don't have access to the Twitter and the Facebook.
This is not a big deal. Like we just need a pad where there is the text. Copy paste it
Okay.
to the.
Okay. I can write the text and let you know when it's ready. But wouldn't you guys want to check it?
That's part of the coordinating of the working group, because that means like you are the product owner, or if I may say it that way, you are responsible for having the pad, involving the people, letting them write something, and as it is done, like tell me or someone who has access to the PPE social media, so that it happens. And yeah,
who else wants to be
that's
in this group? Right.
Hansa is raising his hand.
Oh, I just wanted to signal that I would also join if there is. How many members that should this have?
I think 2 would be enough.
I would say everyone who is willing to be represented there should be represented there, so we have it as inclusive as possible. Okay, so no one else is asking for to participate there. Okay, there is someone. Yeah, Olivia from the PPI made a comment on Mattermost that the hashtag Black Lives Matter was started after the murder of Trayvon Martin, a teenage boy murdered by a local man who thought he was a police officer policing the neighborhood. Black Lives Matter are the only ones in the United States who have mentioned when police murder white Americans, because many white Americans will not say anything about police brutality, even if it is against other white Americans. End of the quote.
I think Hansa and I can work a little statement to be put on social media tomorrow. We can work on that tonight and in the morning, I hope. We would just chat privately about that. But the question still remains which hashtag to use and if we're going to have to vote on that.
I think it would be great. Would we be able to provide the text to the board chat so that everyone can read through it and say his or her comments? I hope we will be consensual and will be able to agree on something. Sorry?
Like who is not for using Black Lives Matter hashtag?
I think you and XIII objected that, while Katla was strongly supporting to the idea.
Well, not objecting. I told I will abstain. It's not about one minority. We should rival this thing, but it's okay if Jan and Katla will make a statement. So we're quite happy with this, I think.
And the question is, should the hashtag be used in that particular statement?
I don't have a problem with this.
Okay, I think this is a clear description of what should happen. Is it? Katla?
Yeah, I think so. Are
Yeah,
you talking
okay.
about the path? No.
No, about
I
the
mean,
statement.
I only wanted to know that people on the board are not going to object to the use of the hashtag Black Lives Matter. Because then we would have to vote on it, I guess.
I guess we could use the following procedure. Like there could be a base of the statement that is consensual, plus there could be an amendment including, for example, the hashtag that could be voted on if needed.
If needed, that's what I'm kind of asking people right now. You know, like Flory, Marqueta, and Alessandro, if they will say something about this matter. Like, is it necessary to have a vote about the hashtag used in a statement?
For me, no, because all lives matter, so even Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter, it's better than all, we can use black.
For me, it makes sense to do the vote, apparently, because I personally feel that, okay, I will use an example. I don't know if it has been used today yet. If you had like a march for breast cancer, you also don't go there claiming, "Hey, all cancer is bad," because it's a march for breast cancer. It doesn't say that not all lives doesn't matter. It just says that now oppression of some lives is huge, and you're focusing on that. It doesn't exclude other lives when you say Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
I would maybe, because we want to finish today at some reasonable time and it's already quite late, I would maybe suggest following procedure. You, Katla, provide the output of the working group to the board's chat. Mm-hmm. And if there would not be consensus on that particular issue, we can take the non-consensual parts and separate them as amendment. Like there will be a vote on do you agree into including of line 25 to the resulting statement, and that will be the procedure how to solve that.
Okay.
Is it fine for everyone to do it that way?
That we would put it on the Mattermost in the morning?
That would be great if it would be morning, but I can understand that you need to sleep sometimes. So.
Oh no, I would definitely get it. I don't know about Hansa, but we'll speak. Hansa and I will speak.
Yeah. Okay then. So I guess we are agreed on what should happen, and we could move to the last point of the agenda, which is 2020 invoices.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would like to take it very easily and very quickly. We agreed that this year 2020 fees for all the members should be €50 per year per vote. So I can send actually invoices even tomorrow to everybody. The only question I have, and as you all see in our FioBank transparent account, we collected also fees from, as I told you in the last council, we collected fees from the Pirate Party of Norway, the Pirate Party of Iceland, the Pirate Party of Germany, and the Pirate Party of Slovenia too. So my question is, there are still some pirate parties missing for the 2019. What should we do?
There are pirate parties missing who have not yet paid for 2019.
Correct.
That's
So
really not nice from them.
so I can pay. I mean I can send invoices for the 2020. Of course, maybe I don't know. Maybe someone of them. I mean, when I say not. I mean, we had no answer from them. That means that I can send it again, the 2020, and I mean, while I send you the 2020, I can send also a kindly a remind for the previous one. But I'm thinking about maybe some little parties that cannot afford the 2019 fee, but maybe they can afford the 2020. I'm thinking about, for instance, the Pirate Party of Poland. So that's my question. What would should do? I can send the invoices of 2020 tomorrow. It's very easy. I have all the address. I've everything set up, so it's very easy. But what about the four parties that didn't answer? For instance, the Pirate Party of Spain. Oliver told Dario, the delegates told us at the council that they are almost dead. Well, actually, almost dead means almost nothing for me. I mean,
Well, I think statutes are clear on that. You should send out the invoices for 2020. It is fine to send also the kind reminder, please, the fees for 2019, don't forget about it. And I think should it happen that someone will not pay in 2 consecutive years, following the statutes, the party should lose its membership. That's what the rule says. And maybe the council can be generous and forgive for whatever reason, I don't know. But this decision is not up to us, it's up to council. So I think what we should do is request the fees for 2020 and remind 2019 and then report to council what happened. And it's up to council to decide on the fate of those who are not paying membership fees. It's their political responsibility to enforce rules of the organization. And we are just executing them.
okay then, that's all for me.
So should we say that we're going to suggest to the next council meeting that they wipe the 2019 invoices for those parties?
I would definitely not include this message to this kind reminder. I would maybe include some sentence of the type like, should you have a problem to pay the membership fees, do not hesitate to contact the board. And then let's have a more detailed discussion of each particular case to have some data base for such a recommendation.
Cool. So, Alessandro, will you do that?
Of course I will.
All right, I'll put it in a minute.
You know, I'm a treasurer. If I don't collect money, what the hell of treasurer I am?
And I am the minute taker, and I like to have decisions put in the minutes, and that's why I asked.
Ah, yes, sir.
Okay. But making those remarks to the minutes, you actually finished this point, did you?
No, I said Alessandro will reach out to those parties, and we are live, so it's not like this is a big secret.
It's absolutely not. I was just thinking about it's 22 hours Central European summertime, and I'm just wondering whether we want to discuss this issue more today. Do we? Doesn't look that way, so I think we could move to the traditional point. Any other business? Is there any other business? It does not look that way. No one is raising hand.
Just a moment.
Yeah, please do.
Well, regarding this any other business, we had in the council meeting the budget agreed, and so we would have the possibility to set up a server. There is cursing a certain name in the MetaMask channel, Big Blue Button server, something like this. And regarding the General Assembly of Pirate Party International and ours, and the problem regarding Chichi or Zoom or Pirate Party of Catalonia right now is trying another tool which also don't works quite bad. As the requirement is here for a good server who stands a certain tool we could provide for video conferences, perhaps it would be good to include this Big Blue Button server in the budget, or see if we can include this, Alessandro.
Actually, I would say that before including, I mean, we have money to do something. We have a budget approval, so we can, of course, spend money for IT tax. But the problem is that we should agree first on the tool, because, for instance, I had a look of BBB, and actually it seems very great to have some like video lessons, video courses. But in my opinion, it's not the tool we needed to have video meetings like this one. If you mean that video meetings plus the streaming, because actually right now I am streaming the streaming with OBS, but I would prefer to provide a platform where the platform itself provides the streaming, not just me, because the streaming now, the quality streaming, it depends on my connection, and it depends actually on me right now. If my computer crashes, the streaming is gone. So I agree on you that we have now the possibility to spend money within some burden, and we have to. I think that we should spend money, but before spending money, we should say, how. For me, for instance, I'm not pretty sure that Big Blue Button is the right choice.
Okay. Yeah, just to remind you, and Katla is having a comment in the Jitsi. Can this be taken up to the next meeting in the form of proposal to change things in a specific manner to improve communication channels? I do agree that we should have research first and bring the audience to the table. We will probably not be able to decide it on site now.
Oh, it's not absolutely not possible. And honestly, I've listened to hours and hours of technical talk about channels and tools and communication things that we need to sort out, and none of it really makes sense to me. And I seem to just like, I would very much like suggestions. I would very much like people to introduce a tool and show the cost and the upsides and the downsides of each tool, and then we would make a decision, and then it would be finished. So you guys think about that.
I think that's the right way how to do that. So just to remind you, we have a channel on Mattermost which is called IT Discussion. I think it would be great should we have a call over there to have a, let's say, meeting, a dedicated meeting on this topic, to prepare, let's say, a proposal for the board within some working group, how to move forward on that issue. And the same story will be probably with the cloud storage.
I'm quite fine with this. Another item I would like to mention is regarding the second council meeting we should prepare for this year, and we are starting in June. Should we ask members regarding anybody would like to make a present council meeting, or are we doing discard? Are we discarding the present council meeting and will move on to doing it in virtual form?
You mean Oliver, an online council meeting or an on-site council meeting?
Well, remember Milano, remember any capital in Europe, I think. We made always the council meeting in presence, and they were remote and present. This worked quite fine, I think. While the actual situation is forcing us to doing it only virtual. Should we maintain this? Question. Or should we ask, as usual, our members to, what about the next council meeting? Who is willing to prepare it? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, maybe we could put it on the agenda for the next meeting, especially because we are definitely not under time pressure. I think organizing the council meeting is some deadlines, but we have more something like 5 months. Should we do it in November? So I think there is definitely time to decide it on the next. Maybe we will receive some feedback from the members what they do prefer, and also like we will meanwhile receive some information about like how this fucking corona crisis is evolving. Yeah. Okay. So, is there any other business, or can I close the meeting? Okay, no one is raising their hand, so it's 20 to 11, and I'm officially closing the meeting. And thank you all very much for really productive discussion and for being here, for patience with the technical difficulties, and for your inputs. It was really great to see you once again.
And to meet you on Zoom.
Thank you.
And to meet you on.
Well, Alessandro, you have stopped the streaming?
Not yet. Should I?
Yeah, I wanted to speak with you about the XIII, our XIII.
3, 2,
You
1.
are still there.
I want to say bye.